Hello everyone. So in this lecture, we'll be understanding the compatibility and the differences between the Bitcoin core and the multi-chain and why it is good and why it is bad. Right. So what is the compatibility between the multi-chain and the Bitcoin core? So key design principle of multi-chain is a maximal compatibility with the Bitcoin core, the reference client of the Bitcoin network. So as a fork of the Bitcoin core, multi-chain shares the following characteristics. So I'm going to repeat them. Right. So command line arguments. So the set of command line arguments which actually used by the Bitcoin are also applicable in case of the multi-chain. So if I go to this website, their Bitcoin website, right, the wiki of the Bitcoin, so whatever the command line arguments are listed here are also actually applicable in the multi-chain. So it's a good idea, so that it is compatibility is actually helpful for the users, especially the builders or the developers, to actually build it with the freedom. Next is the network protocol. The way the how the multi-chain nodes communicate, right, with each other is actually quite similar to what the Bitcoin node, how the Bitcoin cores nodes are actually communicating with each other. So that's also useful. Next is the JSON RPC API. So again, the Bitcoin API and the multi-chains API are quite similar. So if you see the documents here, so the set of documents and the command line types, everything is quite similar. So again, you have a good source and the support system available. Next is the transaction format, means the structure of the transaction, right, in which we arrange, or the JSON object using which we arrange that where this particular data will go, the key and the value, all structure is quite similar. So this again helps you to understand the multi-chain transaction, right? It's multi-chain transaction JSON object and the Bitcoin JSON object together at the same time by investing actually a limited time into it. Again, the script language, which provide the rules for determining whether an output can be spent or not, are actually quite similar to the Bitcoin scripts. Again, the block format, the structure of the block, using which we specify, okay, this is the block, this should be up on the top, this should be at the bottom, this should be in the between, and how many bytes are actually representing this and that. So blockchain format, if you can see this, I think this sorry, the byte format of the transaction is there. Must be a block transaction. So yeah, I think types of the transaction, let me see if there is a block status. Yeah, so this structure is quite, this is what we are talking about. So Bitcoin inside a block, the structure which they are following and structure which the multi-chain follows are quite similar. So as a result, the vast majority of the information on the Bitcoin developer documentation is applicable to multi-chain, and that's what the good thing about multi-chain. So again, question is it good or bad? So of course, it's very very good. You have a huge community to support your development. You have many number of people to ask your questions. You have a Stack Overflow or wherever you want to go, you will actually get your answers very easily, rather than building on a platform which is completely new, because you won't have a community support from that. So and of course, since multi-chain is depends on the Bitcoin core, so if it will be modified in the future, it will be actually aligned with the Bitcoin. So you are already aware that they will follow certain rules, which is good knowledge, good information for you, because now you can focus on your development rather being worried about whether the multi-chain will change its infrastructure in future or not, because they will follow the Bitcoin. So again, the differences from the Bitcoin core. So of course, to add and support the certain features, they have to allow certain additional rules. Right, sorry, additional modification in the Bitcoin core. So additional runtime parameters that can be used for the command line or in a nodes per chain config file. So they have added that. Permission management system, which we already talked about, is a very interesting thing and it gives you more control to build your applications. Native asset transactions, data streams, extension to the raw transactions API. So what we have mentioned here, you have a direct link as well to read more about it on the multi-chain website, and they explained it on a much deeper manner, that how it is different and how it is better and why it is useful for you. So again, so good or for bad, ultimately they are giving you a more freedom to build and develop your application. So it's a good knowledge, it's a good thing for you, nothing bad. Of course, there are a few things that might not have that much clarity, but since it is under development and it is being improved on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, So, and also they are very responsive when you talk about the developer support. So if you post a query, they will reply within a day and will solve your query and the answers. And also Mr. The multi-chains founder, Mr. Gideon Greenspan, he's also very helpful. If you directly drop in an email and ask for any query, he'll also respond very easily. So it's a good thing to build your solution on top of something which is stable, have a good support, and the community, entire community has the backing for that. So since Bitcoin is there, you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, if you have any questions or query, please ask. That's it for this lecture. Thank you.